It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Laja Nima Akasha Zabiri. How are you today?
Fine.
How was your weekend?
We lost our patriarch, my in-law. So I want to condole the family of Abdulwasiu Abolaji Sani. That's my brother-in-law, my immediate elder sister's husband. His father passed at 115.
Eh?
What?
Which one is lost then?
Years.
He has gone to greater glory.
So, but I cannot come and be talking like a dog girl here. So because they are mourning.
Oh, yeah, true.
All morning. My sister is right now in Kwara State. She had to travel on Friday. And she's been there. She's the Yawole, the Yale kind of something. So she's
senior wife.
It was this year her mother-in-law passed at the age of 89. And now the father-in-law has passed. But because of his age, it's not her decision. So they cannot do 3 days. It's the whole village
that we decide.
So
115, that's a long life.
115, he had he has taught.
He has been missing his flight since.
He was already shrinking. It was a well-lived life. And I want to condole them and congratulate them. My husband was praying, saying, I know my boy. I said, no, I go, don't leave you.
100. That's long.
And it's small like this, where are you rushing to?
No,
100.
I didn't want to do my grandfather's own at 106. No, I know get it.
Talking about 100, and Momo is going to be 100.
So yesterday...
When?
We go draw the party. December 24.
So, no, we have to do party. Because yesterday I went for 100.
Yes, I saw your mom was there.
It was the great-grandchildren, grandchildren.
Yes.
And funny enough, she had 4 girls. Like she didn't have a male child. Okay. So you will see the Oni family, the Ogunaike family. My husband was like, well, after my own name is not in the children. I said she had only girls. So everybody has married. So this the family that is doing the occasion for her. It was a beautiful, very beautiful one. She was still talking. She's still working. Wow. She still has not dentition, no, it's her teeth because you could see the stain. I'm like, this is such grace, you know. And it's better to celebrate this while they are alive. But that wasn't my banter. I wanted to celebrate my community. Thank you to Murayo, TVC community, Daystar community. We sold over 200 kg of corn between Friday and Sunday. I'm like, what? Everybody was just buying sweet corn. I'm very grateful. Sorry, online community, it did not reach you, but more is coming.
Waiting for the next batch.
Yes, the next batch is coming.
Sorry, online community. It's unlikely to
online cannot give
with the way we are eating.
No. I don't think online community.
Sorry.
Even my neighborhood, they're waiting.
They are waiting.
They're already waiting. After
as the Mariah was just going and coming.
After I sold my corn, they said, Mariah, please, when next is coming, let us know. Even the yam, fantastic. The yam was awesome. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but that your yam is out of this world.
So replace the person. So we did it.
I bought yam for my neighbors, my grandma. Everybody was just complaining that
they didn't know they were yam. I just bought corn and left.
Yam, the corn.
Your shoes,
very well done.
Thank
you. How you doing, Obiajilu?
I'm doing well.
Your hair is really.
She's selling out too.
Yes, I'm selling out.
This is selling the hair.
Just
are you serious?
And I want to say thank you to all my customers. But Saturday we had a very heated show. Say where we fight. The lady sitting here was just like Nima, giving me basketballs. We're giving ourselves. So these two were on one side.
Was it not more you're sitting there?
It was more your.
Carry fight.
I'm telling you. But it was a beautiful show, and we're quite vulnerable. Although some people, you know, when you are vulnerable like this, some fans, Moses, I'll
I need to watch
share my story. That she's learning a lot from all the stories that we share on the show, and I felt really
fulfilled.
Must have really impacted.
I love it.
Very
I
impactful. I love that.
And I mean, that's the entire objective.
Yes.
And our stories are unique to us, and everybody can identify differently with different people. So really, that's as good. Are you going to give us another? That money.
No.
You know, all these speaking engagements, I beg, leave me. December, I don't do speaking engagement.
Yeah.
Party, I
told people, I say I'm not doing
December,
it. December, meeting anything in December.
Speaking, this I'm not speaking, but the party, I will party.
Tell me ahead. I should have done my own. Also in this, and they will be bringing the private sector eye inside.
Okay, so the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has launched a consumer complaint against leading players in the banking, telecommunications, and aviation sectors. The inquisition, which will begin from tomorrow, which is today, are intended to address issues of poor service delivery, exploitative practices, and potential consumer rights violations. So in the banking sector, the FCCPC will engage GT Bank over reports of network failures that hinder consumers from accessing their banking applications. The telecommunications MTN Nigeria faces questions regarding persistent complaints of undelivered data services, unexplained data depletion, and others. Similarly, Airpeace Limited will also have to address allegations of exploitative ticket pricing, including significant price hikes for advanced bookings on certain domestic routes. So pretty much FCPC is looking out for Nigerians in this regard, for the telecom sector, the banking sector, the aviation sector, and other sectors, so that they begin to see that customer service is so important. And FCPC is like the police, ensuring that they deliver optimum services to Nigerians. And I'll see how that goes.
In 3 states and the Federal Capital Territory resolved at the weekend to boycott work from today over the disagreement with the authorities on implementation of the new minimum wage. So in some other states, there's confusion following the directive by the National Secretariat of the Nigeria Labour Congress for workers in those states to embark on strike over the issue. Some of the state councils of the NLC are threatening strike, not based on the refusal of the state governments to pay, but due to lack of mutual agreement on what is being offered. The NLC and Trade Union Congress, that's the TUC councils in Ebonyi, Nasarawa, Kaduna, and the Federal Capital Territory have also directed their workers to begin their strike today. So in these states, the government have announced the minimum wage to be paid, but there's a disagreement on the mode of implementation of that minimum wage. Ebonyi announced 75,000, Nasarawa 70,500, Kaduna 72,000, FCT 70,000, and we know that the minimum wage has stipulated 70,000 for the least paid workers. So the payment had commenced since September. They said more than 30 states have sealed agreements with their workers to pay the various amounts ranging from 70,000 to 85,000. That's the ones being paid by Lagos and Rivers states. Now in Kaduna, the state government said it had commenced payments, but the workers kicked, saying that there was no consequential adjustment. I don't know what that means. In Ebonyi, where government has proposed 74,000, workers are rejecting it, saying that this was a decision taken without their own consultation. In FCT, workers in the area said there's no agreement to pay, although federal government, that's Wike, the Minister Wike had already announced that they were going to be paying the 70,000 naira as minimum wage. So it's been like some states are saying that you did not consult us to pay this amount. Some states are saying that you are not paying us enough. We should have that meeting before you pay. But since the federal government are giving 70,000 benchmark, if your state is paying you 74, 72, I don't know why you want to have another consultation to agree on what is to be paid. At least for now, let's just even ensure that the minimum wage is being paid. We can now start conversations on what our states can afford. Can they increase it or not?
I've studied this.
My thoughts.
To solve
a lot of
problems. But one emphasis on this bill is that we are going to task the rich as opposed to usual tasking of of poor. So the what's his name? Dele, I think, is the chairman of the committee, did a presentation that I watched. Is about almost 20-something minutes presentation. I watch it at length, and I do not disagree
with anything
any part of it. So these people that are fighting about portion and control, the amount you bring, take it. Let's see.
I did not think of that.
Yes, so I have a story. So Lagos State has kicked off the development of Ekpe, a specific area that will be called the Labour City Scheme. This is put together by the New Town Development Authority. The general manager, Olakule Aboyeji, had a stakeholders meeting on Thursday in Ekpe at the Ekpe Resort. And in the stakeholders meeting, they spoke about the fact that they were going to, there had been some demolitions that took place in Ekpe because they were illegal developments that were taking place, and so they had to hold a stakeholders meeting to sensitize about the mixed scheme and Labour City. So they are going to be, there's a proposed Ekpe development scheme that is meant to follow a design pattern, site and service scheme, private sector scheme, and they said it's become necessary because of all the haphazard investment developments taking place within the Ekpe town. And so they've gotten the permission of the Lagos State government. They've done this stakeholders meeting with real estate developers and other stakeholders within the sector, that areas that are not designated as agricultural land in Ekpe will now be put into a proper scheme towards achieving development within that area to avoid encroachment and all of that. So I'm looking forward to how this would play out, because I know that when we have more structured government schemes, development is more rapid within the specific area.
Okay, The Punch. Tax reforms, reps suspend debate indefinitely as northern governors mount pressure. Port Harcourt Refinery, low-key operation begins, marketers oppose 1,030 naira per litre. Swiss cement maker sells $1 billion stake in Lafarge. Mother of 2 children killed as arsonist sets family ablaze in Lagos. How Obasanjo rejected single-term presidency, say Olanikbekun. And military retirees plan protest over unpaid entitlement. Minimum wage strike begins in 5 states and FCT as panel meets. Let's take one story for the break.
Okay, let's do Port Harcourt Refinery. So, against the rumor, Port Harcourt Refinery has clarified that the operations was not completely halted. They had a small glitch, according to the person speaking on behalf of them. Let me quickly get his name. Mr. Moi Maiduna is, the managing director, director of operations, the Nigerian Pipeline Storage Company Limited. He said they had a small glitch, and the terminal manager also, the Port Harcourt Depot, Wolu Joel, said a small glitch was all they suffered, and they had to take a step back to do improvements.
To
do an improvement. And he assured that they are also, well positioned to distribute PMS, which they have now. They have kerosene and they have diesel. But he then decried the issue of truck drivers refusing to come and pick it up. So the issue with Ipman is saying that the refinery is selling at a price higher, 60 naira higher than the normal price of petrol, because they're selling at 1,030 naira per litre. And so they are saying they would not buy from the Port Harcourt Refinery. And the NNPCL denied that, but they didn't state
the price.
So when their person, that's the Luju, who is the director of operations, the terminal manager of the Port Harcourt Depot, said that they have not seen truck drivers willingly come to buy as expected. I think I would tend towards Ipman's position, but they're also inviting them to come. It's important that we are very transparent at this time. We don't suffer too much for somebody to be messing with our minds. I was super excited that the refinery getting back.
So much expectation.
So let it reflect price drop and ease for the people, simple and short. I don't know how you structure it.
Debatable. Let's go this short. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Sedap Supreme Noodles is here for you. Because
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jammies. Also,
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Yeah, that's all we can take.
I choose.
Ejeki, close the show, you for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some sports.
That woman.
Bam!
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for Pure Entertainment. Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Oh wow, my typical day is
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch.
Yes, I have a story, a human interest story. 22-year-old fashion designer Eniola Oduse and her 2 children, 4-year-old Eric and 2-year-old Onwara, have been burnt to death after suspected arsonists set their home ablaze at the Itamaru community in Ibejuleki area of Lagos. They said the deceased husband's, that's Kehinde, 25, was also caught up in the fire and is currently battling for his life in an undisclosed hospital. So according to the story, they said the incident happened at the early hours of the morning, that's Tuesday, and they said the family of 4 were asleep in their room Monday night, and yet to be identified individuals found a way into their compound and started pouring petrol around the compound. God. The guy had earlier opened the window for air to come in, so they used that opportunity to pour petrol inside the house. So the wife perceived the smell of fuel and woke up just for them to realize that they had set the place on fire. And so he ran out.
Escaped?
No, he ran out to go and get help. And while he was looking for help, before he could, come back, the wife and the 2 kids, the 2 kids
without children.
Say shock, they do people different things. Let's leave that one. So the 2 kids were already burnt. So the way they showed the death of the woman, she was pulling the 2 children from their leg, and then she was dead at the same time, holding on to the 2 legs of the children. By the time they started rushing them to different hospitals. About 7 hospitals rejected them for whatever reason. So they finally found one that took them, but before they realized that the woman died at the early hours of the morning. The kids died straight there. The man is battling for his life as well, because he came back into the fire. Yes.
Really sad. So Chief Wale Olanipekun, SAN, yesterday said that he had proposed a single-term presidency to former President Olusegun Obasanjo during his own term, but it was rejected by the former president. Olanipekun said that Nigeria's constitution needed to be crafted to reflect the realities on the ground and to also consider all the interests of the various zones. He said, when I was NBA president, it was one of the proposals we brought to President Obasanjo, and he rejected it, beautifully crafted, but he rejected it. And he was speaking at Ikere Ekiti, where he was giving out scholarships to 150 students from secondary schools, primary, and universities. According to the story, this is the 28th scholarship award scheme and the 5th empowerment program that he gives through his foundation. So speaking just clarifying what they tried to do to help to sustain our democracy, that he thought that would have been the best option to have equity across board in the country. Okay.
Yes, so I'm taking the story about the military men. Very sad story that military retirees have planned a protest over their unpaid entitlements. They are being represented by their group leader, Colonel Innocent Azubike, has said that the government had assured them that they were going to settle all the past entitlements and that it will be done in November. But right now, November has passed and it wasn't done, based on the fact that there wasn't cash backing. They say lack of cash backing, and that they have served, according to him, we are going to take our fate into our hands. We're going to start a protest. People that are not in Abuja are going to be coming into Abuja. They've got some mobile toilets and sleeping mats throughout the protest. It's going to be a massive demonstration. They said they've served Nigeria patriotically and that their entitlements should have been settled. Many people are dying, that there's no indication that this would happen no matter what, and that it's not even the issue of the finance ministry or the Ministry of Defense, but whoever is in charge should ensure that the entitlement of the retired military officers are paid, because there's a lot of frustration over the persistent delay in the payments being done. And I think it's just important. I beg, let's just help these people so that we set a good example for those still serving, and they will continue to do that.
What he did for the military.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Should be continued.
Vanguard, Port Harcourt Refinery, talked about that already. Nigerians were living fake lives before now, says Tinubu. Hardship, Nigerians in urban areas now use firewood and charcoal for cooking. I never knew Gowon asked Abacha not to kill me, says Obasanjo. Minimum wage, Labour to sanction councils defying directive. Maintenance, Lagos government shuts marine bridge for 10 weeks. How Nigeria struggles to raise crude oil production, says investigation. And post-civil war, Gowon telling many lies against Ojoku, says honor. Okay, which story?
Lagos State government has issued a statement through the Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Oluwaseun Oshiyemi, announcing a 10 weeks shutdown of the marine bridge for repairs. And so they gave alternatives to transportation. It's plenty, so please buy the Vanguard.
Can you imagine your summary? Oh, God. Moving on, I want to take the story that the president said that Nigerians are now living fake life because...
Where? Not now. We're living fake lives.
That he said Nigerians were living fake lives before he took power. He was speaking at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Ondo State, represented by the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, Professor Wahab Egbewole. And he said that before he took power, that Nigerians were living a fake life. He said that subsidies were meant to support the poor and make life better for all Nigerians. But they were aware that the poor and the average Nigerians were the ones that suffered despite the subsidy, and that it was giving support to a few people. He said, unfortunately, the good life we thought we were living was a fake one. that is capable of leading a country into total collapse unless drastic efforts was taking place, and that they had to do what they needed to do to salvage the future for her children and bring the country back from the brink of collapse. He said that he's aware of the consequences of the decisions they made on the people, and he sincerely wishes for a softer option for the people, but that there's going to be light. He's informing people that there's already results coming in. Macroeconomic indications are looking good, and that over time it will get to all of us. And of course, as usual, all leaders end with prayer. By the grace of the Almighty God, every household will experience a better life and a brighter future. That's the promise he's making. Hey. And he has craved the indulgence of all stakeholders to join hands with his administration to ensure that the university system works as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Nigerians in urban areas may have to return to the most affordable cooking fuels, that's charcoal and firewood, due to the increase in the price of cooking gas. Yeah. So they said, we've always used charcoal and firewood to cook back in the day. But when the gas thing came up and it was seamless and easy, a lot of people switched to that. But because of the cost right now, people are buying from that 12 kgs, I think from 17,000 to 18,000 in different areas. Everybody's now looking for those stoves that they make to be able to use either coal or firewood to cook. Now, some persons that were interviewed said they had to even start looking for bushes around them. They said back in the day, we used to go to bush to fetch the firewood. We're not even buying it. So now, if you have bush around you, you go there, pluck firewood, and use it to cook. And many Nigerians are resorting to that in urban areas. This is not just village now. But why?
I mean, because it connects back to what she was saying about us living fake lives. I was telling somebody yesterday that my help is leaving after 7 years. She's leaving this weekend. And I'm thinking I'm going to start making chicken. Now, she does the papa, but now I have to do for the whole week. I have to put in the freezer. I can't use my oven. It's going to affect my band A bill. So we'll have to go and buy charcoal outside and grill my chicken outside. Plenty. Because if I dare use the oven, my regular self would have used the oven, not been the oven. But now that I see that boundary, that's the fake life. Man, I'm going to buy oven. Why do I go and buy oven? When I could have easily use charcoal. So it's the fake life of you think you can afford oven. You bought oven. Yeah, because
the reality is being subsidized by the government.
God bless you. It was being subsidized by government.
So now
reality is that I can't afford to have that oven consistently for hours because I want to grill chicken. No, I put it outside. That's the fake life we're talking about.
And I was telling him this morning that I want to go and buy that coat. She was laughing at me. I'm going to get it.
It's the reality.
But compare the prices. It's cheaper than gas.
It's not just. Well, I use all forms of cooking.
You know better.
Welcome to the club. Yeah, welcome.
Anyway, any other? Moving on, Vanguard. Okay, there's a story that caught my attention. But not about former President Olusegun Obasanjo, still on him, responded to revelation by former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, that he had intervened with the late General Sani Abacha to spare Obasanjo's life during his imprisonment. But I'm not aware. He was speaking during the inaugural Plateau Interdenominational Unity Christmas Carol. He said, so he was speaking, he said that the Gowon disclosed that he had written to Abacha, urging him to show clemency and leniency to Obasanjo. Gowon also revealed that he delivered the letter through his wife, emphasizing to Abacha that his role as a leader was to do good, not harm. Obasanjo was not only released after Obasanjo, so let me try to get Obasanjo's response. Say, I want to acknowledge my boss, Yakubu Gowon, General Yakubu Gowon. He made a revelation, and I have to thank you specifically for that. When I came out of prison, I had the opportunity to thank friends inside and outside the country who contributed to the appeal and prayer for my release. However, I went around the world thanking those that have been appealing, forgetting that you, the one that wrote to the president to actually spare my life. So he was thanking him for sparing his life. Okay.
Wow.
Everybody's contribution.
Okay, let's move on. Sorry. There was a commercial break. How is that possible? Let's go. The final paper. The Nigerian Tribune, we're done. Let's see, 10,000 jobs as risk as Seaport concession agreement renewal stalls. Any other story that jumps at us? Confusion in the House of Reps as APC caucus aborts fixed meeting. Long-lasting injectable HIV prevention drug set for rollout in Nigeria. And after 35 years in Brazil, businessman returns home with ingested cocaine. Unfortunately, we can't take any story because we're running out of time. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, look at the hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
The empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to sus? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's get talking now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. TVC Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Oh Thanks for staying with us. So, this topic is very important because in Nigeria today, quite a bit of families are Japa and Japa comes with its own peculiar issues, and I think it's something that is worth talking about. So, there was a story that caught our attention about a 13-year-old boy who lived in the United Kingdom. He has taken legal action against his parents, accusing them of abandoning him emotionally and physically by enrolling him in a boarding school in Africa against his wishes. This teenager reached out to the British consulate and a child welfare organization after being sent to Africa under what he had said was visiting a sick relative. Now, his parents returned to the UK shortly after enrolling him in the school. Now, this is something quite a number of parents have done over the years. I know my brother did that same way. He sent his kids to school in Nigeria for about a year, 2 years, and took them back to the US. So it's a practice that many people have employed to help, put some discipline in your children, especially those that live abroad. But in this case, this child, this woke child now, realized that he could actually sue his parents for bringing him, because he's a British citizen, he's not a Nigerian citizen. Now sue his parents for bringing him to Nigeria and to Africa, abandoning him. What are your thoughts on this? And call us on 081 270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on X and also message on YouTube. We'll be happy to read the messages. So let me share with you the specific allegations. So according to his lawyer that is representing this 13-year-old, he said that, according to the lawyer, he said there is a clear evidence that he's being harmed emotionally, psychologically, and possibly physically in the environment in which he has been placed. The boy, who cannot be named for legal reasons, reportedly contacted the consulate in Africa. He said that the boy claimed that his parents were physically and emotionally abandoned him due to concerns that he was involved in gangs in London. So they saw the bad behavior, possible bad behavior, and they brought him to Africa. What are your thoughts on this? Because this has always been an option for parents living abroad. I will take you to Africa, I'll take you to Nigeria. But it's looking like these kids, that might not work anymore because the kids can actually sue you. They're waking up.
Wake up. I think that I don't agree with they are waking up or anything. I believe that threat is an insult, to everybody that is being studying in Nigeria. That threat of I'll send you to Nigeria is actually an insult. And I also believe that no parent should abdicate responsibility for raising their children to the school, which is what they are trying to do. There's a feeling of my children, I'm able to control my child in the UK or in America. I will send my child to Nigeria where they will discipline my child. Nobody can help you discipline your child. Nobody can help you raise your child. It's collaborative effort. So when you now boarding house straight, it happens. Some parents used it in Nigeria. They will say you would go to military school. You will go to military school as a way to threaten and enforce discipline. Threats does not bring discipline out of any child. Totally wrong. BC has a book on parenting matter to help you on the journey. However, the fundamental is when you bring a child to the world, it is your responsibility to manage whatever that child is dealing with per time. Whether it is, in this case, this boy's case where he's now getting involved with gang. Because the spirit, Dr. Olimide Emmanuel says, the spirit of an addiction will locate the addiction. If a person that is addicted to something, any country they get to, they will find their spirit will connect with somebody that does that same drug, and they will link up. So if a boy already has a problem with cultism and those kind of bad gang, even if you bring him to Nigeria, guess what? His spirit will connect to the spirit of other people that are like him. Your job is they will find themselves. It's not to send him away and say, go to Nigeria, you get better. Go to Africa, you get better. It is to deal with the situation, have a conversation with the child. Because resentment is why a child would now sue his parents to court. You didn't solve the problem, you just made it worse.
So what are your thoughts? Let me get your angle, because some people have actually gotten results from this where their kids are sent home. So it depends on how you look at it. But what are your thoughts on this?
They think they've gotten results. They may not have gotten results. We're very good at pretending in this part of the world, right? And I agree with Okpe wholeheartedly that a parent's responsibility is to raise their children to the best of their ability. If peradventure you are working, maybe your job took you out of the country and you needed help with maybe your family members to raise your child, that's a different thing. But for you to sit down and say you're going to send the teenager away because you cannot give that teenager that training that they are supposed to get, but other people would help you do that. That's leaving your responsibility for somebody else. That boy is 16 years, he's a teenager. At that age, their decision making, the prefrontal cortex is still developing. They are not able to make sane decisions. Their hormonal changes are there. Everything is put in my book on how you can understand them so that you have a relationship. Now, this particular parent and this boy do not have a relationship as father, son, or mother to son. I think that's the boy, right? Yeah. I think it's a boy, yes. They do not have that relationship. There's no connect between them. There's a gap in their communication, and that's why you sit back and say, why is this woman sending me to a place where I don't even understand? This is a boy that was born in the UK. I don't even understand the culture. I don't understand anything here. Mommy is definitely running away from me. Mommy feels she cannot handle me, and so I've been left emotionally abandoned. If you listen to what was written there. And you know, children of these days actually can articulate exactly how they feel. No, listen.
Can craft anything for you.
No,
Go
listen.
ahead.
They can articulate how they feel. Growing up, we're not allowed to feel more than anger and what's the other emotion? Happiness and anger. We could not really articulate our feelings. But we have, you were giving me a story of your child now who will sit down and tell you exactly how he's feeling. That's Imran. Exactly. That's not how you grew up, right? So what I see here is the parents need to do better. Parents generally, aside from this case in question, need to do better in connecting with their children. When you connect to a certain level to your child and you understand what's going on in their head at that time, even if you want to send that child to Africa, it's something you sit down and have a conversation. There's a reason I want to send you here. There are certain things I want you to learn from our culture. You will go for a few years and you will come back. And that child will not have that problem. But when you now say, okay, I'm going to send you as a form of punishment to that place so that they can raise you, why are you not raising me? No, but you born me.
Okay, I'll come to you, Nima, in a second, because I also want to put a perspective in.
Okay.
Because I know that some people, they realize that their children are spoiled somewhat.
Spoil them.
Because you're in a society where everything, you have electricity, you have food, it's cheap, and you don't understand where you're coming from. So sometimes when they take you back to Africa or to Nigeria, it's like a reset for you that, okay, appreciate that you are living in the UK. Appreciate that you have what you have here. The privilege you have is much more than what others have. So hopefully, maybe the mentality I'm thinking is to help you to reset and appreciate what you have, and then you can see things better. But let me come to you. What are your thoughts on this?
Sending. If that's the intention, that's the insult.
Okay.
So I like what Bisi said. If you have a relationship with your child, no matter where that child go, and you're a parent who talks. I come from a parent of storytelling. My parents explain things. So if you tell your child what the purpose of coming home is, and is a laudable one, the child would understand. Yeah. The laudable one would be that I've born and raised you here. I would really like you to see your culture. So I was born here in Lagos, and I couldn't speak my language till I was 13. And I remember how it bothered my parents a lot. My father would say, once all of us will go to the village, and you people will stay with my mother, you won't come back. You know, continuously repeating it because he was a problem. So imagine if I had ended up staying in the village. I will know what my purpose is. But you don't bring a child, no matter the age, and from 12 upwards, you assume you're dealing with children. Me, I'm dealing with an 8-year-old. Every day my ID went. You know, you assume that they don't know and dump them somewhere without an explanation.
Yeah.
When my daughter had to go to boarding school, she didn't want to. She'll come to me privately and say, Mommy, I don't want to. Her father will call her and say, you need to. This is what I want you to do. And so we were informing the child. I'll be like, me, I don't want to. I'm just praying for your daddy to change his mind. In fact, several nights we prayed that he will change his mind. But he sold the idea of what he would do to her. And now I will call her, Mommy, we're in prep, we're reading, I don't want to waste time. So he needed her to understand scheduling. He explained it to her.
Yes.
He needed her to be disciplined enough to know how important accountability is, unlike going to school and just expecting school to happen. So, funnily, this morning, my son has exams this morning. All through weekend, read, boy, not read. This morning now calls me, hey, Mommy, there's a page in my math that there's an assignment I didn't do. Please help me to explain to my teacher. I mean, I just could teacher and tell him the truth. Some of them, they deal with her right now. Yes, because these children we think are not wise. They know exactly what they're doing. You need to, as a matter of importance, talk to a child. Okay. Now, there's a problem in one side, on one side. You know, children of our age will just carry it. Maybe in the future there's a closure, we are talking and our parents will understand better. But children of that, who will be the lawyer? Well, see, why did the boy get a lawyer at 14?
Let me go on a short break. Okay, when I come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Busy morning in the kitchen today as mom tries to prepare meal for the family. And suddenly, the faucet stops working. She tries to fix it. She's frustrated. She wonders how she could get this fixed.
Just call Workman.
Spending quality time with family. And then the TV trips off. Dad wonders what the problem might be. He goes to check. But with no solution. He wonders how he could get this.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jammies. Also,
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take.
I choose to stay.
Close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
Thanks for staying with us. We have a caller holding. Felix from Ikorodu, thanks for calling. You're live.
All right, good morning.
Morning, sir.
I like your program, and well done for the
Thank you,
job.
sir.
All right, so I actually wish to know what prompted the guys to take the action. So I would like to share a little experience.
Okay.
This one, I saw this one. It happened, and I talked to the boy briefly before leaving the school. It happened in the Ikorodu. Now, he was forced to come. His father actually forced him to come to Nigeria. While in UK, he told his father that he wanted to play basketball, that he doesn't want to go to school and all that. So because of that, the father had to take that decision of bringing him back to Nigeria. Okay. So he bought a return ticket for himself and bought one-way ticket for the boy. Now, to cut the long story short, he brought the boy back to Nigeria and left him, I think, the following day. You know, so it wasn't easy for the guy. You know, so he paid for his tuition fee, private school where they can enroll him, just kind of punishing him off. I don't know. You know, so he was enrolled. And at the end of the day, I remember I saw him briefly, so I heard the story. But to cut the long story short, today, the boy is already loving Nigeria. He's eating most of our delicacy and all that. And there was a time that his grandmother asked him that, would you like to return back to UK? He said, no, I love it back here in Nigeria. I'm not going back to UK again. So I guess children differ, and I don't know why the guy actually take that decision. But for this one, it's
worked out.
Good.
Okay, thank you very much. I was going to share two of my stories also. I know somebody, a family member, she had got her mother arrested in the UK, in the US, and was something that was totally silly. And her mother stayed in prison for the whole weekend. It was a very positive. So there are different reactions. What the caller was saying, there are different reactions depending on how you see it.
So we're not saying you should not send your children down. What we're saying is what leads to it. And how do you communicate, especially to a teenager, that this is what I'm going to do? When they are a lot younger, you can make all the decisions without having to explain to them. But when they get to a certain age, now there's this rebellion that comes with feeling I'm in between a child and an adult. In their head, I'm already an adult. I can make some decisions.
My life.
And then you just change me without making me understand.
I can't. You're a child.
No.
You're a child.
You're a child.
You're under 18. I'm still your child.
We can do everything. Not me so and so. We're saying
dear God, that's Sue.
No, hold on.
That's Sue.
If we understand that the suing is wrong, as a child, right? But that child is in a different reality where they don't treat them like children.
We can we'll fix your reality.
No, listen.
You see, how we fix your reality?
I mean, the court, then they fix the reality in the child. In that place, they take whatever the child has said as preeminence and they move with it. That's a different climb. So you that you're in Nigeria need to understand that I'm in a different place. And the mistake you're going to make is not having conversations very early with your children to understand every decision that you take. It's a different climb, right? Somebody said something here. BC, you need to look at this in a wide scope. It's not that easy the way you're saying it. Not all children can sit down to explain to, especially those that are lost to the society. Who lose them to the society if you're playing your role as a parent? I'm not saying that they're not children that are difficult. Don't get me wrong. Some of us were difficult growing up, right? But I'm saying that there's an intention that goes to raising children. We got away with a lot of things. Our parents got away with a lot of things here because of the nature of our society, where Auntie Nima can easily flog you on behalf of your mother. There, it's not done. So that intentionality, if you lose it with your children, you will lose them to the society. Who is to blame? You.
Wait, let me take this call. I'll come to you. Good morning, Mr. Ido from Auchi.
Dr. Imogu from
Doctor,
Auchi.
go ahead, sir, you're live.
Yes, I want to see it from two sides. I'm not trying to be critical. In the first place, that young boy is already lost to the woke civilization, or rather, the woke age. For a child to take the parents to court is indicative that that child is lost. He needs help. He needs rehabilitation. I only recommend the child to be disowned, but he needs rehabilitation. See, I have grandchildren abroad, and the arrangement I made with my children right now is to bring some of them back to go through primary school or secondary school so that they know their roots and the culture of this place, and they will never forget, no matter the influence of foreign impact in their lives, my children here, I make sure they go through university, do NYC, then go abroad for their postgraduate. They get married to anyone they want, and they all married foreigners. All my grandchildren are abroad. So the arrangement is, I beg their parents, let them come and have a Nigerian experience. It's not an abandonment. But I want to tell the story I experienced recently. My youngest child, the only one with us here in Nigeria, we put him in a boarding school because the mother and I both went to boarding schools, and we know the influence and the impact it gave us that made us who we are today. But that child between JSS 1 and JSS 3 was completely damaged. I need a high-profile Christian school based in a university where my wife is a doctor, a psychologist. We almost lost that child. We have to withdraw him to repeat SS1. I being a psychologist and my wife being a PhD psychologist, we've been working on that child now. He's in SS2 now. He has to, go through the shame of losing a year and having his friends mocking. Thank God we have rebuilt our child back to the child that he was. That is because we put him in a boarding school where we are close to him, where we visited him every.
We lost that.
Sad. I so love it, because what I wanted to write down is Nigeria is not going to change your child. Nigeria is not the place to heal damaged children. It is community that shapes a child. The network, the community. You put a child, you put egg inside hot water, it becomes hard. You put yam in the hot water, it becomes soft. Some people, environment that you are in can change or damage them. So you give your children to your parents, like your parents know it. They don't know it either. In most cases, the trauma your parents will put in your child can be worse than you raising that child. It might be easier and better for you to make the sacrifice to raise your child. God bless you with good parents that can help you. If you don't have, you are stuck. You need to raise the child yourself. The choice of school is important. You bring your child back from Obodo Oyinbo and put them in a school that you probably see them just 2 or 3 times in a year. That is classic abandonment. Yes. You can't compare that with your mom, who was with the children every day. Some grandparents, people send the children into Nigeria, put them in boarding house. They don't even make it they can't come for every month to come and visit that child in boarding house. So you abandon that child. You don't call the child because the school doesn't allow you to call. No emotional connection in any way. Even friends, family are not doing that. You are not comparing your results with another person who did something different. They brought them to Nigeria, but they had emotional support and community. Yes. A child is raised by community.
Okay. So there are two different. Let me stay on you for a second. Yes, let us look at it this way. There's a parent whose child lives abroad and is gotten into gangs. The state is about to take that child from you. You don't take that child away to Nigeria. You're going to lose that child, not because you didn't train, because there were 4 of them. Life happened. The other 3 were raised properly. This one, for whatever reason, compared to the American child who doesn't have option, you have option. I have family abroad in Nigeria. I can bundle you and take you and send you back. Hopefully, whatever I was unable to do for you here in America, my mother can do for you. So in that situation, if you put yourself in that shoe.
When you put that child in Nigeria, you need to be conscious of the community around that child, who is providing emotional support, who is checking in on that child. Because if a child already is resorting to gang and cults, that child does not need discipline or punishment. That child needs emotional support and therapy. That's what the child needs. But what parenting in Africa does, parenting in Nigeria does, is you are already hard. You are getting harder. Let me punish you more. And so we are now alienating the children from, and the truth is the lens. There are some children that are born abroad, but they love to come to Nigeria. Like they are excited to come to Nigeria because of the lens with which they raise them. We need to be intentional. Don't turn Nigeria into punishment ground for your children. It's wrong. That's number 1. Number 2, you cannot undo damage that you created with your absence by more absence in Nigeria. That's the thing. My parents are very supportive of my children. Let me tell you, I'm working on my parenting, but I bless God for my parents. I even brought them closer to support me on the journey because I understand I needed that community. And it's extremely important. So you cannot abandon your children and think that Nigeria will not help you to undo the damage that you did.
50 cents. I'll come to you.
Problematic children.
Yes.
There are some kids. See, there's no code. There's no particular format that gives.
They're called kids.
These children. They come like one ancestor you have offended.
Yes, so they come to pay
every
for
child.
you to pay.
If you say A, that child is most likely to look to the opposite of A, and Z all the way extreme.
Their kids like
There's nothing. Some children, it's on the day that they are giving birth, there are women that they need and beg their mothers. Imagine all the years you'd have put in. For them to see things your way, it will never happen. I'm insisting that for a 14-year-old to get to law, to get a lawyer to sue his parents in the UK, he had help. Sometimes, when I was growing up, there were people who saw that my family was a conservative Muslim family. And their goal was to win a soul among my father's children. And they were my father's colleagues and friends. Somebody will come and visit my father every day and he will sneak to the child. Your daddy is in the wrong, he will go to the fire. There were people who were like that.
Dedicated.
So who be the lawyer? Where sue this parent on the behalf of this child? I want to see the child who they took to the US because some parents dump their children. In fact, most of the artists in Yoruba movie industry, their children are in the US with somebody.
Exactly.
Why did the child not sue saying one returned?
Exactly.
They did not see help to return.
Exactly. They all Japa living. God bless you.
That's it, hellfire. That is deciding who is the assistant lawyer, who is the assistant parent in this situation. That is not allowing the parent, whatever vision the parent had of bringing the child. Let's even assume that they were not really absent parents. But that they saw this child that, if only this child grew in a different environment, it would do better.
Nima, going to by what you said, there are people that send their children abroad here and they started stealing from their hosts. We had that, we took that story. Where they have come with the how they were raised in the certain community in Nigeria.
What got her auntie locked up?
Yes.
Because she was pilfering from the house where auntie was renting a place when they were staying.
So she carried bad character from
the auntie carried cane.
Just like you take bad character in America and take it to Nigeria.
She just got to the US. She's 16. The auntie carry cane, beat her own niece when carry come. As he beat her, he carry phone. Lock her up.
911.
The auntie was not calling me.
So Nima, it goes to what I was trying to say earlier, is that there's something called ibaje. There's something where when a child is spoiled. Because I think 50 Cent said it also that he wished he didn't give the kind of privilege he did to his son. Because sometimes when your child has that life, they have that life. Because you relocated to America, to UK, because you had some level of suffering that made you come to America, that helped you to stay focused. But here, you are a boy, and now you think you're an American because you live in America. And so the brain is trying to remind you that, listen, I need something to help you to reset your brain. So it's not abandonment. It's more like, let me take you to a place to know your roots.
So that we serve the born children. We will look at the child in Nigeria here and think, I'm not raising you, I'm giving you, maybe when you go and learn how to care for your aged mother, your grandmother, you will learn compassion. So there are different reasons a parent can put a child here, even if they don't explain to the child, because not everything you explain to the child can be absorbed by the child. You can be telling the child, I need to leave you in Nigeria for you to do better, and the child will be saying, you want to leave me to suffer. Who is the co-parent here that is suing on their behalf? That's my point.
Okay, let me
you are teaching your child you're teaching your child your values. Somebody else is saying, why are you teaching your own child?
Well, the argument against that is the fact that for a British child, they have toll-free numbers they can easily call.
Go to Google, you get it.
From kindergarten, they taught them.
When did you get the phone in boarding school?
At 14?
At the boarding school is not generally not.
Let's go on a break. Let's go on a short break.
Assistant day here.
When we come back, we continue this conversation and take a few calls and social media comments. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Hassan, you know that buy something to eat. It's time for lunch, yo.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to sus? What is his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. TVC Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Oh, wow. My typical day is filled with meetings, consultations, and of course, traffic.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Thanks for staying with us. We have a few comments on social media. I have from Mrs. Tijani. She says, Auntie Morel, we have not heard from the parents. This child is clearly privileged to have had access to engage a lawyer, which is what Nima was saying. The use of the word abandon is rather strong. Going back to, he felt emotionally abandoned, which I think...
Yes, so we cannot say the use of abandon is strong. That's the child expressing how he feels. Leave the fact that whether he was joining gang or not, he just expressed that he felt emotionally abandoned by his parents. I want to point out something. You can have 3 children and you assume in your head that I'm giving them the same training, I'm giving them the same education, but you are relating to the children how they present to you. So I have 3 children, and trust me, if 3 of them sit down to analyze mommy, they will not say the same things, because I am presenting how they are presenting. And so one mother can be 2 different people or 3 different people to the 3 different children. There are instances where you have raised these kids with everything you think that you have, but you have not observed how their emotional capacity can take them. So you give one blanket rule in the house. You're not paying attention. Some will take that rule because his mommy that said it, I will do it. Another person will take that rule because his mommy said, why will I do it? And you feel because I have given that instruction, that is how it should be. We need to observe each child comes with their own templates and their own blueprints. We need to observe them one after the other. The way you present to your first child is not, you don't know, it's subconsciously. It's not the way you're presenting to your second child. It's not the way you're presenting to third child. In a few years, when they sit back and say, but mommy was doing this to me, and mommy was doing that to me, you're not shocked.
BC, let me give you an example. On Sunday, it's Sunday, we're going to church. And I told my children know, Sunday morning, especially first Sunday of the month, we dress. It's Thanksgiving Sunday, wear your trad. That's the standard. So all my kids, right, wore the right thing. But one wore tracksuits, sweats, and a skirt and sneakers. And I'm like, excuse me, it's first Sunday. As he said, where in the Bible does it say that I have to wear trad? I said, there's nowhere in the Bible, but the RCCT doctrine that we follow says that you must dress a certain way on Sundays. And the person is there arguing with me. Like, you don't get to argue. Go and change. Now, the person was taking forever to change. After a while, I just got really irritated. I said, okay, just that was tracksuit. enter the car, we're going. Because all of us are nicely dressed for Sunday, except this one child.
Just some money.
So you said that we shouldn't use the blanket rule. There's a rule in the house. You are wearing extra. So when I say that because this child is different, you are allowed to wear whatever you want to wear to church.
I'm not saying don't make a blanket rule. I'm saying observe the patterns that work for the children per time. So you have made a blanket rule, no track, you call them for church, and you know that there's this child, just wear native, baby, and you know that there's this child that's particularly attached to that tracksuit. It's not that it will not end at that blanket rule. You will call that child and say this and this and these are the reasons why you should not wear so and so. No, listen. We are raising see.
I have a caller.
I have a caller. Let me Jeremy, you're live. Jeremy, you there?
Yes.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Please don't listen to the TV. Listen to me directly. The TV is delayed.
Okay. All right. So I've been following this thing now, and I think that we are focusing on the parent side too much. Well, the parents, in a way, they are actually not right sending the child to Nigeria as a form of punishment. I totally disagree with that. In fact, to me, I feel that is wickedness. I'm not giving birth yet, but if I give birth to my child, I can't take my child. That kind of thing. You understand? So, but again, let's look at this boy's part. A 13-year-old boy. Can you guys realize how woke this generation is? For a 13-year-old boy to realize that he can actually sue, and not just suing anybody, he's suing his parents, and he has an access to another. I don't know. My own view is that don't you guys think that we have a problem with how woke this generation is coming? That's just where my issue is. There's a problem with how woke this generation.
Thank you, Jeremy. So in your mind, it's about wokeness, but in other climes, it's normal for a 2-3-year-old child in kindergarten to be told 911. They're trained that way. They've been programmed to know that you know where to call. There's going to be a toll-free line you can call. You can go online, have a complaint. Anywhere you are, you can go online, you can go to a website, you can check it, you can find a way. So there's not really about being woke, it's about just having the information that you can get help somewhere.
So let me finish my thoughts small, so that I don't shout. They're already saying I'm shouting. My voice is just naturally loud. When I was giving an example with what you said, that you gave that rule and then you moved on and this particular child decided to, I will wear this. Now, there are certain ways you can look at it. There are children that are thinkers and they will push your boundaries because they do not just take your first explanation or your first order. They want to know why. Where was it written in the Bible that I should wear so and so? And it's not wrong for that child to question, but it's just that in Africa, we don't allow our children question us. I'm the mother, I'm the father, my law have said it and that is how it is. But children of these days are growing bold enough to say, but what's your reason? That's why I'm saying you understand, you have 4 or 5 of the children, you make that blanket rule, but there's this particular one that will question or he will not do it. You call that one separately. And you give this and this and this are the reasons why I, your mommy, because I know better, have said that you should not wear so and so and so. And there's also a consequence for those who choose to disobey me. You put it there. Then when they do that, you follow up on the consequence. The thing about it is, most of the time, because of the nature of our jobs and the fact that everybody's looking for money, we are not involved with having open communication with our children from very early. We get to a point where they are now teenagers that we start to struggle and start looking for who will help me talk to this child when you have missed some vital parts of raising the child from that conversation very, very early. So for you to get to a point where you join a gang, there's something fundamentally missing. That child is looking for validation outside. That child is looking for strength, a form of, what's it called? A form of belonging to the child that they're already missing from the home. So we don't address that.
I'll come to you. But it's important to also remember I was talking about Japa parents. You're looking for greener pastures. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be looking for double jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs. Yes. You will not have that attention.
Your first job is your children.
No. But see, I'm living in a new country. You need to do 2, 3. Listen, now exactly. You've just moved with your family. So that's the reality of the situation.
Our schedule even here
is so demanding. Sometimes we have to make up.
True.
One thing you must do, if you it's a sign of intelligence to have a child who queries.
Yes, true.
And if you have such a child, you must do something else. Not be every child you explain and put position down. You toast some. You befriend some. If you have 10, the one way you go, they call my love. There's the one that you know that if I tell them rule, they will follow. And you must apply each child's nature. So between a certain age and a certain age, imagine that you made that dress, for instance, and came, you made a different dress, not the one that they already have, and say, this dress, when I made it, I had you in mind. Wear it. And the child will say, you kill for Sunday. You will blast for Sunday. And you leave it there. You will see your child for Sunday. You want to check mirror and see how you will look. There are different ways to parent children. But if you say you are doing rule, you are doing... Those are our fathers, the ones that did military strategy. How many children did they...
Come out well, exactly.
Some will just say, I don't want to Allah, let me just obey this man till I get out of the house.
Before.
Some will follow it till, okay, I just like my daddy like that. Some will total full rebellion. Why will you be telling me which color to wear? And I know children. My children, for instance, the two of them, one follows the rule, the other one looks at himself in the mirror. Because he just watched cartoon now, somebody wears snow boots. He wears snow boots, follow me yesterday for inside that terrible song. So you see that their mind is also working. Appreciate it and parent as necessary.
Parenting is a lot of work. It's the reason I do not understand how people tend to have so many children and they still want to have more. Or you have 2 children and you want to have more. Like somebody was saying that he has 2 children. I was like, I still want more. Like, you still want more. Do you understand the work that you would need to do?
A lot of.
Parenting is a lot of work, and it is worse off when you are in the diaspora. So many people Japa in, they have no idea the problems that they would face if they are not extremely intentional. With a lot of prayers and a lot of intentional work. Like you are studying, as you are studying to make money, you are studying to parent. The same energy, because the parents say, the child you did not train is the one that will sell the things you've gathered with the time you use to train yourself. So you are training yourself in your business, in your career, so that you are successful. Then you work so hard and the children now sell everything. Because I know people that have 11 children. Not one of them, all of them are waiting for daddy to die. All of them. And the man knows. Like the man knows.
Yes, sir.
3 of his children are living in his house. They've come back to live in his house. 11. You're now wondering, what did you miss? Daddy was working. Mommy was working. Everybody was working. So we need to realize that raising our children is work. They did not beg you to come to this world. Raise your children. It's like you want to cook fried rice and you want the fried rice to be good. If you really want good fried rice, you cannot put the liver, the sweet corn, the green beans, the carrots at the same time. Everything has different timing and how you will cook it, the temperature with you cook it, how you will fry, how you will steam. That's the way each child is. When you want the fried rice to turn out well, you want your children to turn out well, you must be able to understand this my child is carrots. I can't put this child early. This one is liver. There's a way I will cook it. You need that effort because every child requires that unique touch and attention. It is not easy. I'm telling you, I am in school.
Okay, let me take this call. Anu from Ikorodu. I'm sorry I lost that call. So going back,
don't blame the child. Just that one. The class caller was saying that we're all blaming the parents. You can't blame the child. Every child came plain without any child.
No,
you blame adults. You blame adults.
It's still a child.
I cannot at this point say my mom is to blame for what I am. I can't at this point say my dad is to blame. I'm an adult. As long as the person is a child, it's in under the responsibility is the parents because you got a child as a baby. Nothing was in that child.
Are you saying
it is important that I also mention that families in diaspora build community around yourself. You can't do it alone. You have gone to Canada, you think you will raise those 3 boys by yourself. You are going to suffer. You will suffer yourself and you might not do a good job raising them. You need to have family, friends, people around you that you will say, I will do for you what you will do for me. Because on your own, you will fail at this parent.
But let's go back to this child issue because we're saying woke, but the average child today, regardless of which part of the world you're born, they have a bit of awareness. So how we are raising these children is different. So what this child did, there's a possibility where a child born in Nigeria is likely to do the same thing. Depending on the kind of school. Imagine if you go to... Well, we don't know that. We don't know. No, it's possible. Yeah, you're right. There's a very strong possibility there was. And there's also a possibility that the child took that initiative themselves. A 14-year-old child who is...
Children from 8, 6, 7, must be accountable for certain actions.
Yes,
they take.
Of course.
So when you say you don't blame the child, the parent, are you saying we follow our kids everywhere? See the one I'm describing now. Yeah. You had an assignment, and I called you several times to see if you were reviewing, and you were not.
Let me quickly take Pelumi. Let me take Pelumi.
You were calling him to see if we did. Why didn't you carry him? Sit down here and do your work.
Calling.
Exactly.
I had a caller. Good morning, Pelumi. You're live.
All right. I would like to correct the last caller, Jeremy. It's very wrong for you to send your children to Nigeria, but I think the motive for sending those children matters. If you are sending your children down to Nigeria to learn cultural values, there's nothing wrong with that. Last month, one of a student in a particular private university in Nigeria committed suicide because his parents, brought him from wherever they were. I think he brought him to Nigeria to study. He was the only child they brought to Nigeria to study. His siblings and other people, relatives, were abroad. And then we brought him down to Nigeria to study. So I think the problem they are also neglecting is abandonment. Remember the child also talked about abandonment. When you sent this boy down to Nigeria, did you take time to always check up on this boy? Did you take time to always intentionally let him know why you sent him down to Nigeria? Did you hand him over to trusted people? Did you hand him over to trusted relatives, trusted teachers, trusted house masters? Did you always inform them about the main reason why you brought
Thank you very much, Pelumi. You see, I always say that in this our woke generation, we label things, we give them names. Because back then, we didn't label it abandonment. They sent you to Nigeria, I went to school with people where there was even a white girl, Rachel, was in my school. Her parents were living, I think they eventually went back to UK or something. But she was left in Nigeria with guardians. It wasn't abandonment then, it was just my parents.
Don't say that
at the time. Now we have labeled
abandonment.
Hold on, okay, finish.
The point is that we have labeled, we've not called it something. It was not, because the intention was not, make it more grievous.
Horrible.
The objective was not to abandon, your objective was to expose you to a different culture, a different way of life, a different way of discipline, which is different from where we know. So now we have labeled it, we abandoned you. And because of that,
does not mean that vocabulary appropriately explains your parents.
Exactly.
Abandonment.
Intention. But the action and the interpretation of the action, who is experiencing what you have done would interpret it as they see fit. We say these things do not affect us, Abi. We have a lot of people who have abandonment issues that have transferred into relationships today, into marriages today. They have anxious attachment style, they have avoidant attachment style, all these things.
Humans are not perfect.
Listen now. Humans are not perfect. Listen now.
All these English speaking is lacking, and I've not heard it before. Just hearing it.
Yes, it's coaches. They come up with all these terms. All these coaches come up with all these terms. Things that we grew up, we had no clue. You now label it abandonment. You label it emotional neglect. You label it
imagine the ones that don't even have English now. If they were to read some of this textbook, imagine the English.
Back in the day, when people were dying of malaria, that we didn't have a label for malaria, we said it was Ogbanje. We said it was Abiku. We always find a way to. Now, as we evolve, listen now. Yes, as we evolved, we got the appropriate names for each. It doesn't mean those things were not happening before, just we didn't have the label for it. We found a way around it. Does not mean it did not affect a lot of us in adulthood. So this child is communicating what the child is feeling. What I just see is they would have find a way to have a compromise and have a communication or have a conversation for the child to understand why they did what they did, and then they will make amends on how to follow up on the child. You don't just drop the child and then move on to your life and feel that the other family members or the people will sort him out. This is a child who you have raised abroad. They have different expectations. I always say what our parents got away with, the way they raised us anyhow, we will not get away with it if we try it with our children. Because the times are changing. Everybody just needs to be accountable for the one that you do.
Somehow, the Indian child raised in the same America, it is the Indian child, they have certain values, certain communities, they're able to build that community around them. So they don't let the wokeness of the society infiltrate into how they're raising their children.
We have a culture that we don't. There are certain things our parents did. The reality and understanding of it is just coming on us. I don't know if you've experienced that. So we're assuming, jump. You see, you need to jump. because you need to catch balloon. How many times did our parents take decisions and expected the delay in understanding to make us mature?
They beat us into understanding now.
No, not all the time.
Okay. Now
Not all the time.
Talk about my own
Not all our lives. I remember
too.
that this leg, the way I speak so, it was because vacuum of interpretation was left for a lot of things. And my father would say that if you are wise, you will know what I said. And I will have to be interpreting it. And in getting the understanding, each step of delay was maturity. Forced on you.
I have to go on a break.
So who say we must write textbook for our child to code it and understand us each time?
We love to make... anyway, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with this. Stay with us, right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Terra Cube is available in beef, chicken, jollof and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 100, 200, 500 naira along with saver and super saver packs.
Terra Cube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Now this is tomato mix. Even after adding water, you can still taste the tomato flavor.
With Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can cook any of your customers' favorite meals.
No color changing like traffic lights.
Tasty Tom will surely give you value for money because Tasty Tom tomato mix is thick. A little is enough to get your desired quantity of stew and soup. No unfair deal.
Tasty Tom makes me so happy. The taste is always on point.
And it doesn't color your meat or your chicken.
Because of Tasty Tom tomato mix, the taste of my food never changes. So my customers keep coming.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food, so I buy quality from the onset. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix.
Tasty Tom for tasty meals good for you. Available in convenient sachets.
The world needs mums. With a splash of golden Terra oil, a mum can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks into yes please. Resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty family meals is all that matters. Where there are moms, there is love. Golden Terra oil for pure love.
It all started here. Like millions of Nigerian boys, my dream was to play for the Super Eagles. New Bisco Costa biscuit fills me up, gives me strength and energy to do well. It is hard work and you need extra energy and strength to succeed. Scoring goals that will last for a lifetime. Creamy, crunchy, new Bisco Costa.
Alright everyone, no pull your ears, make we talk. Time don't read to rearrange the stars to give una small wisdom. Una think say una sabi. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know own, I beg no be so. Before una go talk, say our smile no reach. Make una think am try so. We know they here to the point una with our small finger. We show una solution instead.
Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world?
Una smile go find like him as it's supposed to be.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to the show.
Ladies, I want to correct some impression.
Okay.
parenting are different. The way you correct your child might be different from the way I correct my child.
Okay.
And again, I want you to understand the way you train one child. I can train the child and say, okay, go this way. And when you try to do the same thing, it will not go in line with your own child. We need to understand our own child. Then putting that child in boarding school, I don't think they abandoned that child. It's in the good hand. Boarding school is a good hand.
Not necessarily.
I don't know what we are talking about. The way we are referring to our boarding school these days. They are good hands. In our days, I am in Lagos. My parents are in Lagos when I'm in Happy in boarding school. And today, I know who I am. And I know the same thing. If others are telling their children to see, they are not in prison. They are a place of learning. They are a place of training. They have not abandoned that side. Please, like the other ladies there that is teaching one book or the other, this cannot change parents. Parenting is different lines. Please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olawale.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't hear that.
Moriah went to a boarding school and she's spoken highly of her boarding school. My boarding school, some other people had good experience. I suffered. I was broken in boarding school. I suffered in boarding school. One of my schoolmates was in school was in church with me yesterday, and he was telling, as in I didn't know they were gisting about me. When I came back, she was like, so you went to school with this lady, like she was saying it, that, you went to school with Reddy? I said, yes. I went to school with her now. I was like, but I suffered, I left the school. He said, she said it before I came there.
Imagine.
She was gisting the group how everybody in school knew I suffered. I was carrying buckets, I was punished. If I say A, you are proud, you are tall, you are proud. I suffered for 3
bullying.
Years. Some other people in that school were not bullied the way I was bullied, but I was. So you can look at the school and say the school was good, but that school made me good, but the school killed my spirit. So don't say boarding school is good. I felt abandoned. I'm an only child. My parents didn't want me to get spoiled. My mom looked at me and said, oh, Nibaje, you must go to boarding school. But they took me to boarding school. They took me out because I would have just died. I was so skinny, like I was like one broom. Hospital every month. I was broken. But in their mind, they were taking me to a school because this is my only child. I don't want my child to get spoiled. So my mom had to look at me and like, this girl would die and take me out.
And they have to take you out.
So you're looking at the child and you're thinking, I want to discipline the child, but you're killing the person. The same place, the same environment that girl survived though. That lady, my striving there, but she went there, she finished the entire 6 years and she's fine. But me, I would have died in that school.
So what I was saying,
in this school,
me, I would have preferred their body.
So it's all that's the point. So the point I was trying to make earlier was that the Indian community that live abroad, for example, are able to raise them. They don't use this, it's a work environment. They don't have all these excuses that we give ourselves. Nigerian excuses. Well, no, he's American. That's how they are. No. These communities are able to retain their culture, their values, their language. Even their children born here, born in the country, still speak their language efficiently. So we excuse our own people, and which is totally...
We don't have anything to retain now.
When you see Nigerian parents abroad are talking, they'll be talking to them. Yes. I will divorce you, go Nigeria.
Exactly.
The children grew up with the perception, any decision to go home is not a good one.
Exactly.
We converse around our children. I went to a day school, and I remember saying to my friends in primary school, the school that I'm going to go, will be a nice, pad school because my daddy loved me so much. The first day, as the first day for command, one officer called thank God inside my head. In the middle of my head, that was what was hitting me. You know the last day of my wife?
Is that not abuse?
The last paper I had, one officer decided, just looked at me from far and said, I had a marker in my pocket. I did not sign on my shirt too. The marker was in my pocket. Somebody has passed me marker, I just put it in my shirt pocket. They beat me silly. On the last day I left school. I was traumatized in school, but we survived it. Does that negativize my parents' intention? No. All of us are looking for ways. That's the point. You follow
a 16-year-old, 14-year-old will not understand the intention. Let's give them that.
I'm just saying on behalf of the parents, do not just negativize or negate.
Of course not.
Don't spoil the intention. Don't speak ill of a good intention of any parent. Because you really don't know. What we can do as parents is follow up. My daughter's first year in school, I address slap, I address shout, I address gang up against nothing that I did not address because I over follow up. I had to sit her down and say, that's how life is. So if I help you, all your life I might not be there. I can just even die tomorrow morning. She was shocked. I said, when I die, these issues that you're always calling for, you will call, but you won't have mommy to address it. So we have to deal with it. Now we are no longer calling me how many people are not talking to. She too, she don't toughen up. Because that's how life is. If you follow up and your child is not actually coping, that means what you intend to help you is not solving your problem. You then withdraw and check it again.
You are saying same thing.
So it's not one blanket rule. The beginning day 14.
Nobody said it's
the beginning day 14. The beginning day 14. Maybe the parents have not even followed up. Or maybe if they followed up, they see the child still in the place where they took the child that no, you are not seeing. Because I remember coming home after that first beat and say, Daddy, you have to withdraw me from this school. They left me for second year.
Okay, I have a caller. Thanks for, good morning. Thanks for calling. I think I have Nifemi.
Today I define
Nifemi, thanks for calling. You're live. Oh, I know. I'm sorry for Mikrodu. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, Anu.
Auntie Mariah, Auntie Tope, Auntie Mama.
Good morning.
This is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
And I'm glad. Thank you so much for all you do on this program. I just want to bring my own thoughts. I want to say that I support Auntie Pussy and Auntie Mama. You see, first we have to accept the fact that the way our parents raised us is not going to work anymore this period. It's never going to work. Now, I'm going to bring myself as an example. I'm a second child. There's a second child syndrome. Apart from the fact that I was raised by strict African parents. Now, this strictness works very well. But when I became a teenager, I became rebellious. I was a strong willed child, and I still am. I have questions. I argue. I want to know why. I didn't go wayward, but I became that stubborn child that would only always question what my parents said. I was a fighter for my people. When they say this, I was saying, why do we have to do this? And they saw it as being rebellious, but I was just a thinker. I would think, I would imagine to do the result of what you asked me to do, and see if you actually have my own food as an adult. Now, what we do in Africa is we indoctrinate. Indoctrination will not work anymore. What we have to do now is communicate. You have to communicate with the child. And Mariah said something the other time. She said that you are 6 years, you are 10 years, you are 12, you are still my child that will make decisions for you. It does not work anymore. Ma, when a child becomes a teenager, begin to see that child as an adult. You have to communicate. You have to communicate now. For example, you have an adult will not be happy, someone will just move you away. Then a child will not be happy. That child is a human being. A human being.
Full-blown spirit. Thank you, my darling.
Thank you very much, Anu. Yeah, point taken. Thank you very much, Anu. You see, let's go back to what this parents' fear was.
Okay.
This boy was getting involved in gangs in London. We have no clue what that even means. None of us here have children in gangs in the UK. It's not like here in Nigeria, you can call Baba Sikira, please, oh, that my son, you know, you can. No, I'm just, there are gangs here, but there's a way, Nigerian gangs, you know, they say, there's a way you can still talk to, there's a way, they listen. There are ways, there are ways you can still, there's a way there's a local intelligence of how you can find who is the gang leader, who is the Baba Saleh, who is you can still talk to them somehow and find a way to rehabilitate your child. Ganging in the UK, you don't know where to start. You don't know the cabals, you don't know the cartels. You have no clue. You have no clue where to start from. So as a Nigerian, like this gang in this country, I don't know who Baba to call. Let me bundle my child and carry them to where I know at least, even if it's a gang in Nigeria, we can still find a way who uncle somebody to nurture them back to shape. So the point is that putting yourself in the shoes of those people, I don't see any parent who intentionally want to send their own child and abandon the child. No, they feel helpless sometimes. I don't know where to start from. Because I'm in a society where I don't know where to get help.
So we must also understand that our parents grew up from a society where parents spoke in proverbs. They will tell you half word that they tell people will get sense. If you reach in mind, it will make sense. Then nobody had the time to write you a thesis to explain anything to you. Where is that time? Well,
that's why we speak.
And we must always, I was speaking yesterday at NASFAT and I was saying life is about understanding the other person. Some people are fighting battles we know they see. Our parents are also living their own. when they deal with you and you're already in the place of my parents hate me, you are going to rebel against everything they say, even at self-harming point. And we see kids who self-harm themselves. We know kids who have left this country to sell toes and foot and kidneys, to live the life their parents said, please just stay with me and manage my resources. I see kids who have rejected their parents. There was a girl back then in Unilag whose parents visited and he addressed her as a driver, addressed her dad as a driver to meet up class. Is it that the parents did not teach her contentment at home, or she just, was falling under pressure of society? So there are kids like that who will not. And not all parents. And I always say that delay in communication sometimes give you the maturity to do better, to understand it with time. Not be everything they must write textbook for you thesis.
Not be every parent. Not everything will understand them with time. You are assuming that everybody.
You don't mean say the parents fail now. You don't mean say the parents fail.
No. We're assuming that every child will follow the same path of understanding. So if Tope understands 1, 2, Nima should understand 1, 2, BC should understand 1, 2. Not every child. That's why you must pay attention to each child. Some children you don't need to explain. Just make the rule. This is it. You have packed your bag. I'm sending you back for them to go and correct your bad behavior. And that child goes. And that child will come here and thrive. You throw the second child that way, that child will come here and scatter.
Yes.
From the same parents.
I just put it there. I said boarding house.
Let's pay attention.
Worked for some, hardened some, and it broke some.
Yes.
So you must understand.
Works for each child. It doesn't mean you have failed, like you rightly said as a parent, but you have failed in your observation. No. You have failed in your observation and in the method to get that child.
So to be sure that we're on the same page. Yeah. So that parent could have done that for that child, and that one would have worked. But is this particular child that went to carry 911 and go and call them in UK consulate?
I have 3 children now, so if I have to ship anybody from back, I know one that I will not try it with. The other 2 I can ship them. But see one, if I try them, I go lose them. So however we want to do it, we will sit down in that UK together and dig it. If we are doing therapy, if we are doing consultation,
if I will let you go to the States, I'll abandon you to gangs.
No, we not. See, like I said, it's an option. Like I said, this particular one, if I leave him, if I leave this one, nobody will be able to hold him.
Let's talk about how we can help these parents now.
Let me come to you. Let me take Elizabeth. She's been holding for a minute. Elizabeth from Ikorodu, thanks for calling.
Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling.
I'm Mommy. Good morning. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. Okay. This is it. The other lady Hanu that talked recently. That's one reason why I called. I want to disagree with her. I will speak this Yoruba. Only somebody back to back kini ko adaje. To back kini ko adaje. To back pa ro gidigba. Agbewale fa obi. I hope you understand that.
No. We don't understand.
You are dealing with yourself, but when you not deal with something.
When the child commits small sacrilege, you carry
when the child does something that
to community.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we get it now.
You've got an interpretation. Go ahead.
Okay, when the child does something that she feels proud of. Okay, yes, I did this. Oh my gosh, but over far of the I go and of here. When that child is in a problem, she will have to come back to the parents. I hope you understand me now.
Yes, get it now.
So this parenting thing, it is not something that is very easy.
At all.
I am a mother. It is not easy at all. The way you train your own child is different from the way another person will train their own child.
And they will then mix together in school.
So it is not something I feel.
And peer pressure themselves.
In everything you do, always say to God, God, I hand this child over to you.
Wow.
Just
God way we just decode.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
So in solving the problem, because and she said you raise your own. Nima raises her own.
All of them.
I raise my own. All of them will meet in school. My children, 2 of my children were telling me. My son was telling me that 2 of his friends bring a full voucher to school to spend anyhow they want. Money. It's like they are giving you a blank check.
Wow.
Anyhow you want to spend. I say no. You have a budget. Your parents, your mom is a financial coach. Your mom gave you a budget, so you will live within your mom's budget. Don't compare yourself with your friend that the parents gave a blank check to shop and eat anything they like. We need to. It doesn't mean that people have explained.
You have abandoned him emotionally.
Yes. Abandoned.
They emotionally abandoned him.
No, the one they gave. No, the one they gave.
Yes.
No, you are that. Deprivation.
I'm giving perspective and explanation, and I'm reiterating it over and over again. That is what is lacking. So if you say you are abandoning a child, you must explain why.
So, can I pause you for a second? This child that you're talking in,
yes,
this child might be living in the UK and go and report to the guidance council. I know what my mother earns $30,000 a month.
My child,
unfortunately, they're giving me only $2 per day.
Why will my child know how much?
And as Bisi said, you cannot be society where you explain to the pikin. Collect it. Collect the pikin.
That's why a conversation needs to be had all the time.
Why will my child know how much?
There was a time, 2021, I was so busy. I wasn't going to my children's school. I saw the difference in the result of my last born. The other two could cope, but my last born needed more attention. My children's teacher know me. When I went for what do you call it, their open day, they didn't need to tell me anything. I knew everything. I knew the results. I knew what it was because I changed my orientation concerning my responsibility as a parent. We don't have a choice. So this parent of this boy that is 14, who has taken them to court, you cannot afford to get angry with your children. No, because that's the reaction. Yeah. The parents will be angry and disappointed. Anger and disappointment will not help you.
This situation
it will vent. It will make you feel pity. Your job is to, 1, Nigerian system, pray. 2, talk to that child, hug that child. Whether the boy wants that hug or not, you will hold the child and you will sit down with therapy session. Whatever it will take, how many therapy sessions it will take you, sit down and talk it out. You will sit down, because if you don't deal with it, you will raise a traumatized child that will become a burden to somebody else in future. So deal with this child now. Love that child, hug that child, pray for that child, go through therapy with that child, and ensure that you don't leave that child alone. If not,
it doesn't also mean I'll bring you back to the UK.
No,
we will still stay in Nigeria, but I will now be more involved to just get
let me say that the parent might not necessarily be angry, might not be disappointed, but they are helpless. Because now they don't know where the problem is coming from. Because the co-parent is helping them scatter the house. That one is a UK mindset parent. Now don't grieve for your parent. UK system enables you to scatter them, sue them, question them. This year I was going to ask you, we saw a news of 3 Nigerian students who had joined a British, I think Indian or Ghanaian, whatever race that one was, and they carried out a murder accidentally because they wanted to rob somebody, tied him up, and the guy eventually died. And they were supposed to be in school in the UK. Now, let's just imagine these parents now. Having one child, we be say like to follow, gang up. You know, show off himself now until one friend. If a friend does it, the child will go and do. They can't see that news and say, boy, before you put us in trouble. Go.
No, I never said it was wrong.
So I'm just saying. It was
okay to say.
You know, I come from a place where I try to understand my parents, but my siblings not necessarily.
You see,
I understand what my parents are thinking part time, not because they sat down to open textbook.
Your brain.
You see them talking about it. That child that sits on the floor and looks at A and B mouth will know better. So please, this parent, let's cut them some slack. All of us are applying different methods of parenting.
Yes.
Our results. We have results. I don't know about you. Thank you. Every night I'm asking God. When it's time to pack results.
My own children. There's one that is giving me a headache right now. I told you guys. There's one that
the face.
That one. You see that one, all that person is just to hear the small instruction.
You don't
obey. That one does not like wahala. Once they know the rules, this one compulses and she doesn't even just mind about business. But that one, this particular one, give me serious every day. Even till I got to work this morning, I'm thinking in my head like, I am so upset.
But do you know, I welcome the trouble because I realized that yes, it's better now for me.
That's why I want to congratulate
than later. Yes.
Now 14 years.
Now 14 years, you didn't do this. So let me say, don't do 27. When you heard, stuff was not correct. You're going to sag.
When you even I beg now when you don't go
through that.
Just cry for help.
Go on your knees.
Just cry for help.
Because sometimes it's
pay for therapy.
Pay for therapy.
Let's take a few comments.
Comment plenty. Parenting is a topic that cannot be overemphasized. Ladies, if you could please discuss parenting once a week. Parenting is different from bringing children to the world. It needs to be intentional. Mester says, for parents living in UK, don't let your children to sleep over. That's where they learn nonsense.
Bolanle says, dear parents, I train my children well. Train yours too. Let me create sane society. I beg. YF says, I'm learning from the topic and enjoying it. We need more shows on parenting. It's a very important topic. We need more understanding and enlightenment on how to raise children. It's a full-time job.
Let me do this one. Tola says, I know someone whose mother was a strict disciplinarian, but today, out of 3 children, only one is successful. The other 2 resent them.
It's not by disciplinarian.
Another person throw jab at the parliament leader in the UK.
Mount Rushmont said, cane is the best therapy. I don't agree.
I don't agree.
Uncle Mount Rushmont, cane is not the best therapy. We need to help these children, not to punish them.
For me, I still stand that not one everybody here depending, because I have seen people who brought their children here and actually helped. I know. So it depends. So
the thing that helped them, people don't know. You know, we don't know.
It's not necessarily Nigeria.
It's not coming to Nigeria. It's the community they found in Nigeria.
Yeah, and the love and the attention they got in it. So I guess it depends.
Someone says, YF says that I'm enjoying from this topic. I'm learning from the topic. Commending the ladies.
Okay, that's all we can take on today's show. I hope you've learned a few things. As we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.